In medical research, a single connection can be the difference between a huge breakthrough and a total dead end. But how do you find that one right expert in a sea of millions of people? Well, we're about to explore something called precision data, a strategy that's completely changing how science connects with its brightest minds. Let's get into it. And just to get a sense of the scale we're dealing with, look at this number. The market for big data in healthcare is projected to just explode to $540 billion by 2035. And look, this isn't just about collecting tons of data. It's about using it with incredible accuracy to push innovation forward faster. Okay, so this brings us to the real problem here. The entire healthcare industry, it really relies on these highly skilled specialists. But actually connecting with them, it's getting harder and harder. To see just how hard, let's zoom in and look at one really critical group. Just take a look at this gap. Demand for clinical lab techs is growing at 5%, and that's a whole lot faster than the average for all other jobs. These are the people on the absolute front lines of diagnostics and research, and the industry is just struggling to keep up. But here's where it gets really tricky. Even with all that growth, the field has something like 24,200 openings every single year. A lot of that is just people retiring or switching careers. So for any organization that needs to collaborate with these folks, it's like trying to hit a target that's constantly moving. So you have to ask the question, right? If these professionals are in such high demand, why is it so incredibly difficult to actually connect with them? It feels like a paradox, doesn't it? Well, the answer really lies in their work environment. Think about it. These specialists are deep inside hospitals or research labs. They have packed schedules and very specific ways they communicate. So just sending out a generic email blast or a broad marketing message, it just doesn't work. It's like shouting into a hurricane and just hoping the right person happens to hear you. And this is exactly where the solution comes in. We have to move away from that shouting into a hurricane model and instead adopt a much smarter, much more targeted strategy. This is that big shift to precision. So what exactly is precision data? It's not just a clean email list, it's a whole strategy. It's about using layers of verified information, like a specialist's publication history or their clinical trial experience, to pinpoint the one professional who is a perfect match for a project. So it's less about casting a wide net and way more about finding the right needle in the haystack every single time. And this comparison just lays it all out so clearly. The old way, traditional outreach, is just inefficient and it wastes resources. But a precision approach, it's targeted, it's relevant, and it leads to meaningful engagement with the right people, which ultimately just speeds up the entire research timeline. It's all about moving from quantity to quality. Now, theory is great, but let's see how this actually works in the real world. We're going to take a look at a case study with a clinical research organization that was doing some amazing work on the frontiers of Alzheimer's research. They were facing some massive obstacles. Their database was a mess, their emails weren't getting delivered, let alone opened, and they kept reaching people who weren't the actual decision makers. They were just spinning their wheels and wasting precious time and money. So the solution was to basically start over with a precision approach. They built this meticulously curated, hyper-targeted list of over 830,000 times relevant contacts. Then they launched a coordinated campaign across email, LinkedIn, and other channels to reach these experts where they actually are. And the results were immediate and pretty dramatic. First off, their email deliverability rate skyrocketed to 95%. That's the foundational step, right? It means the message was actually getting into the right inboxes instead of bouncing or just ending up in a spam folder. Next, look at this, a 300% boost in engagement on their LinkedIn ads. This is huge. It proves that not only were they reaching the right people, but the message was so relevant that these busy professionals were actually stopping to engage with it. And finally, the bottom line, a 2 times return on their ad spend. This proves that a precision approach isn't just more effective, it's dramatically more efficient. You get more results with less waste. But this quote, this really gets to the heart of it all. This wasn't just about hitting marketing targets. This was about enabling science. By connecting the right people, this data strategy played a direct role in advancing potential breakthroughs in Alzheimer's research. So let's zoom out for a minute. What does this one case study tell us about the future? It shows us that how we connect people is absolutely fundamental to how we innovate in medicine. This is something that matters for everyone. So let's break down the strategic value here. First, you get incredible efficiency, no more wasted resources. Second, you build real relationships, not just one-off transactions. Third, you get faster insights because you're connecting directly to the right minds. And finally, you build the kind of credibility that makes you a trusted partner in the scientific community. And this is the key takeaway. As medicine gets more personalized and complex, finding the right collaborator isn't just a nice to have anymore. It's becoming the absolute foundation for survival and innovation. So that leaves us with one final thought. We've seen how this approach helped accelerate Alzheimer's research. It really makes you wonder, from rare diseases to the next global health challenge, what medical mystery will be solved next simply by connecting the right people at the right time?